Hey, hey, welcome everybody. My name's Ben Lowrey, and I guess you're here because you're interested in learning handstands. Well, I'm pleased to tell you, you're in the right place. I started learning handstands in 2013 and I became obsessed with it. It was all I thought about, it was all I cared about, it's all I did every day. Every day I practiced, right? And right from the start, I knew I wanted to be a teacher. I knew I wanted to be a handstand teacher. Don't ask me why. It's just what I wanted to do. It's just all I cared about, handstands, right? And originally I was into yoga before I ever got into hand balancing. So I came from a yoga kind of background. And in my teaching style, you'll notice a lot of it, there's a strong yoga flavor with a lot of it. It comes from a yoga angle, but I also learn from proper circus hand balancers as well. Now, circus hand balancing is really a higher level because, you know, they're going to be doing things like one arm and moving around and doing transitions and more sort of gymnastic style stuff. And so circus takes hand balancing all the way to the extreme. But what you'll notice in my teaching style is there's a kind of overlap in between, and that's what my teaching style is kind of yoga flavor, circus hand balancing, and it's good because what it does, it takes yoga people kind of out of their comfort zone and away from the stuff that they're used to doing on the mat. Because when you think about it, when you're in the yoga, you're just really on the space of one mat, aren't you? Or sometimes the teacher might give you a little bit of time to practice headstands or handstands against the walls sometimes. But it's there's not really movement in yoga. You know, that's just not the focus. But when you start to introduce movements like gymnastic style drills and dance style movements and start integrating that with, you know, handstand acro, there's a wonderful overlap. And that's really what my teaching style is. So in all the video tutorials, that's what you're going to get from this. And well, I really tried to get good at gymnastics as an adult. I didn't start any physical activities till I was 29, if you can believe that. When I was at school, I never used to do sport or anything, nothing. I used to play guitar when I was little. That was all I was into when I was young, right? Never did any fitness until I got to the age of 29, started getting into this kind of stuff, right? And then within a couple of years, I was just going to classes all day, every day. I go to the gym and do weightlifting. I do an hour of stretching. I then go into a dance class. Then I go to gymnastics straight after. I was crazy. You know, with me, it's full on obsession. Whatever I do, I do it fully, right? And this is what I did with all this stuff. And these tutorials on this website are the result of all that. At the end of 2015, I started teaching. And I was only really just getting good enough at handstands to start teaching people. But there was a local yoga studio that asked me, invited me, you know, because they'd seen the stuff I was posting on Facebook. And they said, Ben, will you come and teach a class? And I thought, I'm not one to say no. Go for it. Bite the bullet. I went and did it and taught. And you know how it is when you start teaching, it causes you to have to step up, right? My handstand ability got much better, much quicker because I was then, you know, there were students that were looking to me for guidance, right? And so I got much better, much quicker. And then I started teaching workshops all around the country, around England and Wales. And then I was teaching workshops. I teach 3 workshops every Sunday, all over the country. I had a whole system. I do one that was a long way away, and then one in the middle, and then one quite close to home. Every weekend I do that. And some of you watching this, you may have attended one of my workshops. And if you go to the memories section on the website, you'll find a lot of the photos and the videos from some of those workshops, and you might even be able to spot yourself in there. And what I did, I filmed a lot of my events. And by the way, I was also teaching weekly classes in Bristol as well. So sometimes I was teaching 4, 5, 6, 7 times a week, right? There was nothing else I cared about except hand balancing. And then I wanted to take it a step further as well. I started putting on full day events, and I bring in other teachers. So some of you that attended the Accra Library Movement Day or Circuplex Sunday or the special events, geez, I don't even remember what I called them now. And I'd have a fire pit, I'd have a light show, I'd have a gong bath, I'd have yoga, I'd have dance teachers, and I'd be doing handstands and I'd have food as well. I made it into a whole kind of mini festival retreat thing. It was a lot of fun. It was really magical. And if you check out some of the videos, and when I say light show, I literally built a light show out of LED lights to create ambient lighting during the yoga sessions. Check out the light show section on the website. Anyway, so a lot of these events were filmed professionally with a cameraman, and they were edited into tutorials. And when you become a member of the website, you're going to get access to all that, right? Now, let me talk you through it. Let me show you some of the stuff we got here, because when you become a member, you're going to get the whole catalog. And if I click here on the members area, the daily drills, I mean, I recorded these painstakingly for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I did, I need to add a few thumbnails there. I did 43 in total, and to be honest, there's plenty there for you to be going on with. You can pick, you could work through them one by one if you wanted to, or you could just pick randomly and just find the ones you like. Some of them are suitable for beginners, some of them are more advanced, so there's a massive variety in there. There's something to challenge everybody, and to be honest, if you can do all of them, congratulations. I'm sure you could be teaching handstands yourself. So there's plenty there that's going to challenge you at every level. Now, what I also produced is these periodic tutorials. They're a little bit shorter. On average, they're about 5 minutes long, but they're densely packed information on a specific topic. So what you can see here is here's an article about getting a straight handstand. There's no video with that one, but the rest of them, they're all videos, 10 in total. This is a tutorial about how to, against the wall, do a handstand. That's suitable for beginners. Here's some more alignment and shoulder angle stuff. Here's some yoga jumps that are suitable for yoga people. This is to do with tucked handstand. The myth of core strength. That's a big one. Massive myth. You're going to love that topic, because here's the problem with the core strength thing. And I won't spoil it for you, but a lot of people waste their time obsessing over core strength, and it's not actually the limiting factor. You can work on it all you want. It won't make any difference to your handstand. That's the inside scoop, right? Now, people may disagree with me on that, but if you check out the tutorial, you'll find out what I mean. More handstand shapes, how to cartwheel into a handstand. Now, this is what I mean when I say more to do with movement, because on a yoga mat, you're not going to be cartwheeling into a handstand, right? That's more of a dance, acro gymnastic kind of thing, right? But it's what I love. Dance, I love going contemporary, ballet, lyrical contemporary was my favorite. How to press from crow to handstand. Now that involves a lot of strength. That's more of a calisthenics kind of thing. And now here's the big one, right? How to press to handstand. That's something a lot of people want to do, and it's very difficult. And in that tutorial, I give you all the explanation of how it works. And again, it might not be what you think. You might think you need more core strength to press a handstand. And it's what a lot of teachers teach. You hear a lot of people say that, and they're dead wrong. They're dead wrong. Sorry to say. I don't mean to sound bitchy, but they don't know what they're talking about. Bless them. But don't take my word for it now. Check out my explanation and see if you agree with it. It's just a mechanical... You see, with handstands, it's just mechanics, right? It's just to do with the center of gravity and where there's and angles and forces. That's all it is. It's very much a mechanical physics kind of thing. It's not willpower. It's not you're just special and you've got a magical essence that allows you to do a pressed handstand. It's not that at all. A certain amount of it is genetic, to do with the proportions of your body, like the length of your legs versus the length of your hip to your shoulders to your arms. So some people are a little bit luckier, and they will find certain movements easier than others. All right. But, but everybody can progress towards it. But people will find certain things easier than others. For example, with me, my back bend is massively weak. I have a terrible back bend. And so for me, moves like Scorpion, where you get your feet to your head, there's a lovely looking movement. I can't do it. I can't get my feet anywhere near my head. I went to stretch classes and contortion and yoga 5 times a week for years. It didn't make any difference. My lower back just won't do it. But then I'm strong in other ways. My shoulders are quite open, my arms are quite strong, and I can do other movements a little bit easier. So that's one of the things you got to accept. Our bodies all are a little bit different. some things will be easier for you than others, but don't use that as an excuse. Or, you should still do your best with all of it, and you can still progress. You can definitely accomplish a handstand, 100%, definitely. Now, this one here is a fantastic tutorial, the 2 best drills for beginners. If you're a beginner, I'm going to encourage you to start with this one and the handstand against the wall one, and some of the others are sort of medium difficulty, and I'd say the press to handstand is more advanced, the press from crow to handstand is more advanced. But a lot of those, it's mixed ability. You're going to find value in all of it. Now, here's some wonderful workshop clips. These are little teaching points from my workshops, and it's me explaining specific little topics. They're quite short, these videos, but there's some good nuggets of information in there that's going to help you, and it's going to help you to get the kind of attitude that you need towards your handstand as well, because some of it is in the mind. You see, here's the thing, yoga people have got a habit of overcomplicating things a little bit, right? I'm going to tell you that. Contrast that with capoeira people who don't really think about anything at all. They just throw themselves into it and see what happens. Gymnastics tends to be somewhere in the middle. They're quite confident with if you go to gymnastics, the teachers just kind of throw you into a little bit, and because it's a sprung floor a lot of the time, that gives a bit of a safety cushion. So in gymnastics you can try things like handstand to forward roll, and you're not going to hurt yourself too much, because it's a sprung floor, so you can be a little bit braver and bolder in gymnastics. Now in yoga with the hard floor, you got to be careful, little bit more careful, because you can hurt yourself on the hard floor. Anyway, I digress. So when you join the membership, you'll get the workshop clips as well, and really everything we've mentioned so far, all this stuff, the daily drills, the topic tutorials and the workshop clips, they're kind of the extras. The main body of content are the premium tutorials. These are each an hour long. They're highly edited, densely information packed. When I first produced them, I used to sell them individually, right? So they were individual products. But what I've done here is bundled it all into one thing, so you get the whole lot in one go, right? These are each an hour long, and they're highly produced, well edited. Check out the trailers on the homepage. The ultimate handstand tutorial was my first proper big tutorial, and when I say densely packed, it is densely packed with dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of exercises and explanations, right? I mean, to be honest, the price for the whole thing would be worth the ultimate handstand tutorial alone. But, and then what I did after that, I produced a fundamental flexibility with myself, which is an hour long. Again, that contains an entire stretch routine that I personally use for my own stretching, right? 2 minutes on each position, because I wanted to progress my flexibility. You see, when the difference between gymnasts, acrobats, and like pole dancers and things like that, or dancers, they stretch. It's an outcome orientated. They're stretching to progress their flexibility. Yoga is stretching as well, but it's also many other things. So, in a yoga class, there's the relaxation, and there's a little bit of strength, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and obviously a lot of it is progressing your flexibility, but it's quite holistic. And what you're going to get in the fundamental flexibility and the advanced flexibility with Vicky is just full on hardcore stretching, gymnast styles. That makes sense. Just purely functional. No spiritual elements. Nothing wrong with that if you're into that. No judgment. And then the final hour-long tutorial which I produced was handstands live at Dundry. I filmed the entire Circoplex Sunday. That was a great event, by the way. I had a musician. I had Mike doing guitar. doing guitar. At the light show, I had Michelle teaching acro yoga and Thai yoga massage. But this tutorial is just my handstand section. So, it's all handstand orientated, hour long, okay? And that's everything you get in the bundle. It's well worth it. All this content is the result of years and years of obsession. It's only obsession that can drive you to really master something like handstands. You couldn't do it for any other reason. Somebody couldn't pay you to be this obsessed to produce this much content. There's no way. It just couldn't happen. This is true, unadulterated, uncut passion and obsession. This is the result. This is everything I produced during my handstand days. So I hope you'll join in. It's worth it. Don't know what else to tell you. I hope you enjoy it. Crack on. And if you want to email me with any questions, if you get stuck on anything, go ahead and email me. It's fine. And I hope to see you on the other side. All the best.